Okay, let's see what's going on today. See if we can get the comments loaded in. Turn on in settings. All right, we are live and streaming, and I'm not sure why my internet connection keeps coming up in yellow. I'm going to turn this back just a little bit, but I'm just trying to get some light in here on the table. I think we'll be fine. So once you come on, introduce yourself. Let me know where you're from, if this is your first time, or I should say. I'm moving out of the way. I'm trying to put stuff up. All right. So I'm just going to wait for y'all to come in. And at the moment, I'm checking my internet here to make sure we don't have that same fiasco that we had yesterday. I'm not sure what this is in the red network. Anyways, I'm checking that. Hopefully we'll be fine. My husband is gone to exercise, so he will not be here. Welcome everyone. And we'll give it a few more minutes. I'm a little bit early. I popped in at 25 after. We start at 11:30. So if there is a glare, let me know. I've got the blinds open behind me to put some light in here. I'm not sure. This might be a little bit of an issue. I'm going to try to close these a little bit better. That might help. Hey, Karen, hopefully, I hope today goes a lot better. I don't know why all of a sudden my internet thing, it shows up in like a yellow circle with I don't know, like an exclamation point. And when my husband, hey, Patty, and when my husband, he kept hearing me say that, and he kept checking the internet speed, and he said the internet speed's fine. And he goes, well, did you have it plugged in? Well, I use my iPad, right? And then my phone. And I've never had problems with the iPad and having to plug it in. I don't think that has anything to do with the internet because my battery's fully charged. So I have no idea. But we're going to just roll with this and hopefully that it works. So I'm hoping when I flip the camera down that I've got enough lighting in here. I didn't set up any actual lights. I'm using natural light and then the light that's in the room. So anyways, this probably won't take more than 30 minutes or so. Okay, good. So anyways, yesterday was a fiasco, let me tell you. I'm like, holy moly. But I am going to go back and record doing it with the with the 12 by 12 paper so that you can see how it's done both ways. So anyways, and since Patty's on here, she knows my dog Riley, and Karen, Patty is a cat person. And anyways, so Riley's health is not the greatest right now. She's got a mass, I think I've told y'all, on her rear end that is now, it's shifted her tail and her butt over to the right. And one of the concerns is that it pushes it to the point where she won't be able to go to the bathroom. And if that takes place, obviously we don't have a choice. But she also has this tumor it's a fatty tumor on her right leg, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And it seems like it's been the size of about an egg, like a good size egg. And it seems like in the last couple of days, it's just, I took a picture. I'll have to, I don't know. I'll text it to you guys so you can see it. Not that you want to see it, but when you see it. So anyways, yesterday she wasn't feeling good and she had a little bit, I call it a fever because her nose was warm. And she started hobbling last night where she couldn't, she didn't want to put any weight on that right. It's on her right leg. I know. She didn't want to put any weight on that right leg. So this morning she's still hobbling. I thought, oh my God. So I'm having to carry her. And this is the weird thing. I carried her downstairs and she wanted to walk. So she starts walking and I carried her over across the street to where, on the other side and put her on the grass. It's one of the areas we always go to. So next thing I know, she starts walking on the grass. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? So I thought, is it our floors? Because we have wood floors and then we have some wood rugs spread out. And she likes to walk on the white cement, not like the type that's all the rocks and stuff. So she likes the white. So she's walking, and then we get part way back to the house, and then she starts hobbling again. So I'm picking her up and carrying her, and she's like 14 and a half pounds, which isn't much, but when you're trying to carry her, right? So then we get in the house and she starts gimping again. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So, and she sit on the carpet, and I try not to get her to walk around too much. And so I just ran her downstairs. Same thing, took her outside. She's hobbling, so I carried her down the elevator. Normally I try to take steps, but can't do that now. Carried her down, put her out in the grass, and she starts walking like there's nothing wrong with her. And then we get back in the house and she's hobbling again. So I have no idea what's going on with her, but I know that it's gonna happen quicker than I really want it to. But hopefully we can keep her comfortable and not be too selfish. You know, because right now with this tumor, fatty tumor, and it's so heavy on her little legs. And anyways, so we're just gonna try to do the best we can. But that's the latest greatest with my dog. So anyways, with that being said, it's 11:31. We're gonna give it one more minute, and then we'll get started. I've got one card made. I'm gonna do two more samples. So honestly, it's not gonna take that long. Oh, I need my paper trimmer. Hang on. Oh, got it right here. I'm trying to keep this room organized because, you know, as you come in the front door, this is what you see. So yesterday afternoon was cleaning day, and I'll be doing that this afternoon. I know the pain comes and goes, and I'm sure that's what it is with her. You know, and she's got this thing, it probably weighs, I don't know, I'll say I don't know, it could be half a pound for all I know. It looks like it weighs more, but I don't know. Anyway, so that's the update on my dog. So, all right, well, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. I am streaming to, where I got the camera backwards than I'm used to, so I'm looking this way, and I need to be looking this way, so sorry. I am Dawn Duvall. I'm coming to you from Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And I've been doing this craziness, especially after yesterday. It will be 13 years next February. All right, so today is our creation anticipation, which is where we work with a sketch. And sketches are really great to use as a starting point. Sometimes we get to the point where we try to do too much, and it gets so involved in making cards that we have to go back to the basics. So if you start feeling like you can't think of anything, just look at a sketch, and it gives you at least a starting point where you can take that and then move forward. So I'm going to flip the camera down. I will give her a kiss from you. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down, and we'll get started. I'll show you the one card that, here's the sketch that we're working with today. All right, and this is a pretty easy one. We're going to use 3 rectangles, and you can, and I'm going to show you different ways. The first one I'm going to show you, I used a punch. The first one that I'm going to cut for you all, I'm going to cut the pieces at 1 inch by 3 inches. And then I'm using a circle. I'm going to use about a 2-inch circle. So you can use whatever you have in your stash. And then the second card, I'm going to use a different punch than I used on the first card. So let me show you the card. Now here's the sketch, and then I'll set my card right next to it, and then I'll bring it up in just a second so that you can see it. So it's similar. It doesn't have to be exact, but it gives us an idea of what we need to do. So what I did, let me get in my camera. I've got the my arm of the camera down a little bit different than I had before. Okay, so this I did with basic white, and I folded it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I took a piece of Pool Party, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and I ran it through the 3D embossing folder, which is the Snowflake Sky. And that just kind of gives it a nice touch to the background. Now I don't, hang on a minute, pardon me. So the next one, I'm not going to use an embossed piece, but I will be using a second layer. And again, you don't have to. It's your call to do whatever you would like. So I use the modern oval punch, and that's what it looks like. So I punched out the reindeer paper, and let's see, what is that called? Reindeer. Well, it's the reindeer paper. I think it is. Reindeer. Hang on, I got it right here. I just have to get my fingers. I'm using one. Reindeer Days, which is a 12 by 12, but I did a paper share, so all I have left are 6 by 12 pieces. So I cut out and 2 pieces and flipped them over to show the ornaments, or the little, I guess they're jingle bells, right? Yeah, there'll be jingle bells. And then I love the one of this little reindeer. I thought he was so cute. And then I stamped this, 'Tis the Season, and this is from it's one of the sets that I just got and I haven't used it yet. Hang on a minute, I think I put it back. I think comes from, it probably would help if hang on a second. It's one of my Christmas ones I have. Hold on. Oh, wait, is it this one? Hang on, I'm looking for it. No, it's not that one. I think it is, where did you go? What in the world? Well, I will put it on the thing. It's not Fluffiest Friends. Oh, I think it's, I can't find my daggone. Anyways, it's a current set. So I should have brought that out. I wasn't thinking. All right, and this was done using, I think this was using the 2-inch circle. It might have been 2 1/4 if I'm not mistaken. All right, so that's very similar to the sketch. All right, so I kind of like that. I thought that was cute. All right, so the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to be using a piece of Very Vanilla. And again, I've cut this one at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just going to fold that over. I've already scored it. And give it a good burnish with my bone folder. I've got everything all kind of backwards in here. So my husband went to his exercise guru, so he's not here. So I'm using the room again, and it seems like, it seems like things are a little bit slow. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to test this. Okay, so then I'm going to use the Season of Green and Gold, and this is some really beautiful paper. Look at this paper. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? And then they've got another sheet that has, and this is in the online store, just to let you all know. Look at those bells. Isn't that pretty? And this is like gold, and I think it's got some of our pecan pie colors in it. And then there's a checkered one, so that's kind of, you know, like an old-fashioned thingy. And isn't this one cute? This is just with your holly and whatever else, leaves. And that's got like a more of an olive and garden green, or it might be mossy meadow. And then some more gold and some darker greens. So it's really a unique, I like this. I think it's a really unique, pretty paper. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut, and I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to do one of these and then do 2 of these. We'll see. We'll see how it looks before I attach it. And then I'm going to do it sideways. So instead of it being in the vertical, I'm going to turn it in the landscape mode. All right, so I'm going to bring in the paper trimmer because I'm going to trim these, and then we will, the next one I'll punch. So I'm going to cut these at 1 by 3 inches, right? So let's get this over. I'm going to pull it this way. So I'm going to bring this to 3 inches, and we're going to cut that, and then I'm going to cut this down. So I'm going to do 1 of these, and then I'm going to do 2 of the, what did I say, 1 by 3 inches? 1 by 3, and that's kind of square looking, isn't it? 1, let's try the, no, that's, sorry, that's 3 inches, and then we're going to trim this down to 1 inch, which really isn't much, is it? I don't know if I like that 1 inch part. Let's see. Let's get this over to the 1 inch, because that's going to be kind of, leave it kind of naked, but that's what we're going to go with. We're going to do 1 of those, and if we don't like that, we'll change it up. All right, which is really, all right, let's do, we want 1, well, that was crazy. Let me do my 1 inch here, because I just wasted some paper. All right, so we're going to make 2 of these, and this is 6 inches, so we should be able to get 2 3-inch ones out of here. Yep, so let's cut that down to 3 inches. So this really is not going to amount to a whole lot on our card. All right, so look at that. So we only have 3. We might have to add some more pieces to it because that's going to make it look kind of empty. So, because 1 by 3s, yeah, that's a little small, don't you think? So if we put 1 here, I guess that's not going to be bad if we put a sentiment. And then we're going to put that one there. We'll just space them out a little bit more. And again, we could, you know, add another piece underneath to give it, we could add some extra color underneath if we wanted, but I'm going to leave it like this just to give it that plain kind of look. And then we are going to stamp. So let's go ahead and see. I think I'm just going to go ahead and place the circle over top. So let's go ahead and we're going to put these down. So it's going to show you how we can change up, this design by using different instruments to help, right? So in this case, we're just doing a 1x3. And I'm going to leave enough space, which will probably be a little bit, but that's all right. We're going to do it like this. And then we'll add our circle to it. We may just put the circle right in the center. We might make that the focal point, but I don't want to cover up this really pretty green piece because I think that's gorgeous. So we'll see how we go. All right, so there's that. And then we'll go ahead and glue the next one down. But I thought this is a really pretty. I couldn't find this, so I kept looking in the book, and I'm thinking, okay, so, but I went online. It's in the online exclusives. So they are there until Stamp It Up decides they don't want to have it anymore or whatever, if they sell out of it and they don't want to, reproduce it. All right, so there's our 3. Very simple, right? So now we're going to come in, and let me grab instead of using a whole piece of vanilla, let me just grab a piece here, which this should work. I think that should be big enough for my circle. Let's make sure. Yep, that'll fit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp, and I'm going to stamp this in the pecan pie. And again, you can add some, I might have some gold ribbon too, because I know we have some. Let's add a piece of ribbon to it. 1 second, I'm going to find my ribbon and I'll be right back. We should have some gold. Where is it? Nope. Actually, all right, I thought I had some gold ribbon. Sorry about that, but we've got this, but that might be a little bit. Now, we're not going to use that. Okay, never mind. Pass on the ribbon. All right, so we're going to ink this up in pecan pie. And let's turn our piece right here, and this is going to say, let's celebrate the season. Don't you love that font? Isn't that pretty? And that is from the Sentimental Wishes. I received that one in not too long ago. Haven't had a chance to use it yet. This is what the stamp set looks like. And what's funny is I just put the dies in here because I haven't even had a chance to put them on my magnetic. Look at that. They're just small dies that cut out the leaves and there's 4 dies in here. Isn't that wild? So anyway, that's a good place to keep them. All right, so we've got let's celebrate the season. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 2-inch circle, and I'm going to punch that out. And you can tell my circle punch has had a lot of love to it. Let me tell you, I've had that. I don't get rid of a lot of my punches. I have sold quite a few of them on my Etsy store, but I try to keep my circles because it's much easier in the big scheme of things to punch rather than if you just want to do 1 or 2 circles. You don't have to worry about getting the die cutting machine out and all of that, right? All right, so let's put that off to the side. Now, I think we need to put some embellishments on here. So let me I've got some neutral ones. So let's use, hang on 1 second. Let me look and see which ones. Let's go with, since it's Christmas, let's go with some sparkly. All right, these are the Drusy, D-R-U-S-Y adhesive back. I'm not sure what Drusy means. Maybe it's because they're, I don't know. Aren't those cute though? But that's what it's called. Drusy. D-R-U-S-Y adhesive back. It's new to me. All right, so let's put this guy on here first, and we're going to use some dimensionals. So let me get my dimensionals out, and we'll put a couple on here. We probably could use some ribbon, but I'm going to pass on the ribbon part. Oh, my dog's up moving. Oh, she's moved down to the cold floor. Okay, that's all right. All right, so now the question's going to be, do we want to put this right in the center, or do we want to set it off the side? Let's see. Make sure I got all my things off. Actually, we could put it right there. Oh, you know what? I was going to do it this way. So what do you think? I think we should go, should we do it this way? I should have spread it. Oh, I should have spread that out more because I was thinking I was doing it on the this way, and I wanted to do it. What do y'all think? See, I didn't leave enough room. I think it looks better. All right, what do y'all think? I was gonna do horizontal. I was gonna do this way, right? Landscape. You were gonna do horizontal. I thought, okay, well, then that's what we're gonna do. So this is horizontal, right? That's vertical. Horizontal is this way. I don't know. What do y'all think? Which way looks better? This way? We can even put that, I think let's just go this way. Why not? And that's small enough that that's not going to take up too much. So we'll make this the center of the card. And then we'll just add some embellishments. We'll put a couple of these small little druzy things on here just to give it some sparkle since we have sparkle there. And I'm just going to use my paper snips to pull these off. These are kind of really thick with a lot of, they've got a lot of sparkle to them. A lot of the, whatever, I don't know what that's called. All right. Oh, wait. We need to put one more because we can't do just two. We have to have three. Got to have three. We have to do them in odds. So let's put one up here on one of these little stars. All right. So that's one of the cards. Isn't that easy? And then you can, I wasn't paying attention, so I should have started the one over here and then centered them more on this side since I was doing the horizontal instead of vertical. But isn't that pretty? But that's just, again, it's just another easy way to get you started on, and then from there you can just build what you want to do, right? All right, so that's one card. Now let's do the second one. I told you this is not going to take very long today. All right, let's bring in the next one, and the next one is going to be our, let's see, the season of, let's see, what's the name? Oh, this is part of the reindeer one as well. All right, so we're going to do a typical Christmas of red and green. All right, and so I'm going to use a base of red cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we're going to have a piece of Granny Apple Green, which coordinates. And then, now we could leave it at that, but I think that's going to be a little much. And see, our reindeers are different colors. So I'm going to put a piece of, and I may cut this down once I do my punches. I may cut the white down so we get more of the green and red effect, okay? So we'll go ahead and cut this. Now this one, I'm going to use, now this may be retired, the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch. I'm going to use this, all right? So I'm going to punch out, and let's see, we want to punch. I'm going to do a reindeer, so we're going to have some reindeers dancing, and I'm going to try to find a spot where I can get some, there we go, that I can get some that are both in the punch, and I've got one little guy's head, but that'll be fine. Let's do, maybe I could get another one where he's at the top. Hang on a second. See, this is the part, right? When you start designing, it's like, oh, what do I want to do? But I think, now I think this one will look good. We'll leave his little head down there. He's going the opposite direction. All right, so we're going to punch this guy. And we'll bring it down just a little bit so we don't make that guy look like he's there for nothing. All right, so we're going to punch that out. That's going to be our centerpiece. And then I'm going to flip it over, and we're just going to punch 2 more of these using this hexagon punch, right? So I'm going to punch one there. And then I'll come down and punch. Let me do one at the bottom, just because. All right, and then we'll punch. And it really doesn't matter because we can flip this around the way we want it, right? So we could even have it like that, which is, the other one is very similar. So let's do that. So you see, using your punches is going to change the whole effect and look of the card. Now this one we're going to do horizontal. So I think I can cut this down some. So I think what I'll do, let's do that. I'm going to cut this down a little bit more because I think I want more of that red and green to show. So this is at 3 3/4 by 5. So let's cut this down to, let's do 3 1/2. I think that'll work. Let's do 3 1/2. That's not much. And then we'll leave that, we'll do this one at 4 3/4. All right, so that way we've got a little bit more of our red or green and red showing. Okay, so again, some other quick cards. So we can lay these. I'm going to put this guy up here. We've got enough room. Now this one, whoops, I've got to get my bulbs going in the right direction. So since I cut it down, I think what I'll do is I'm going to pop this guy up on dimensionals. And then I was going to use, now the sentiment might be a little bit bigger, have a Merry Christmas. So let's see if I'm not going to glue this down yet because we're going to do the circle. So let's stamp this first. And I'm going to stamp this in red because we're going to use that 2-inch circle again. And let me get a piece of white. Yeah, let's get a piece of white cardstock. And we're going to stamp this in the red. So let's do that first, and then we can figure out how we're going to place our circle. We might put that under a little bit. All right, so let's place that right about here. And that's a really small print, which I kind of like that. It's cursive, and put that over there. All right, so we're going to bring in the 2-inch circle. Now, I could do this with a little bit smaller. Let's do a smaller circle. Let me get the 1 3/4. Let me see if I have that. I might have it locked up for a class. Yep. Never mind. We're gonna go with the 2. I've got my other punches already packed for my shell point class that I had to reschedule because of the hurricane. So we're gonna go ahead and use the 2-inch punch, and we're just gonna add some decorations to this. Let me bend this one over. The only thing about punches, if you have a lot of older folks, like myself, if you have a lot, if you have some older people, sometimes it's hard for those of us too, right, to use a punch. So you just have to be mindful of that if you do classes or have people over. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's add our garden green to this. I probably should have thought about bringing some ribbon in so we could add some ribbon to this, but you know me, I always have to make it harder than it should be, right? So we're going to place that right there. And I think this is going to look good. Yeah, I like that with more of the green and the red showing. So now we're going to have to play with, this one I think I want to pop up on dimensionals. I'm going to spread these out. And we probably should have used a smaller, but we could just pop this one over. Or we could angle them. We could put them at an angle. And actually, we could stamp on, let's see if we can do it this way. Kind of angle them, off to the side. And this one's going to be really a little bit too big. But we could tuck that under and have it hanging. What do y'all think? Tuck it under. It's kind of white on white, which looks a little strange, but that's okay. I think we'll do that because I don't want to cover up anything. And I don't know if I like that at an angle. I don't think I like that, though. I think I like it like this better. Both ways are pretty. Hi, Viola. Good morning. We're working on the second card. I'll go back and show you what we've done. I'm using the, what is this thing called? The Heartfelt Hexagon, which may be retired. I've cut my white down, and I'm now trying to determine how I want to place my circle on the card. Actually, all right, let's just go ahead. I like it like this, just straight an arrow. So we're gonna lay this down. Let's glue this down, and we'll attach it to the card, and then we'll decide how we want to put our sentiment. And I'm using the Reindeer Days paper, and it's got this with the Christmas bulbs on it in red and granny apple green, and I think that's garden green. And then this one I know we're going to put down at the bottom, so let's go ahead and add this one. Whoops. All right. And we're going to lay this one all the way. I'm going to have this one touching all the way at the bottom. Make sure my bulbs are going in the right direction. Let me move this over. All right, and then this guy is going to be those 3 reindeers. This little guy's getting a little lost. And I'm going to attach him. I would put it on the inside of the card. Oh, good idea, Kathy. Hi, Linda. That's a great idea. You guys are so smart. Because that way it would cover up my design, right? Let's do that. You guys are so smart. Okay, so let's pop this up on dimensionals. And then I told you that we weren't going to be on here very long. So I'll go back and show you the other two cards that I made. One I did yesterday, and then I just did another one, which is very simple. And as I mentioned early, this is a great way if you are... why did I do that? I didn't mean to put those on there. If you have it, it gives you a good starting point of where you need to go. So, and it's easy, right? So we're gonna put these three on here. Get that off here. I'm so used to putting them on the circles, right? On the sentiment. Okay. So let's go ahead and pop that guy down, and we'll put these little reindeers on the front. And this is just a basic card. You know, we could have done some decorating around the outside. I didn't think about that. I have some bows, so you know, you could actually, if you wanted, you could take and decorate around the outside of the card. So let's go ahead. Now this one I cut down, let's see, hang on a second. I trimmed it down because I wanted to have more of the green. This is 3.5 by 4.5, okay? And we're just gonna glue this down. And thank you for you all that watched yesterday. For the issue with my internet, or whatever the issue was. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into that today. All right, so there's that. I do like that. I like the color scheme and everything. I think that's pretty. It's a basic card. Again, you can stamp around the edges, which would be nice, or you can emboss it. And then we'll just add, and we can do this. We could not even put a white piece in here. We could just put that there and you could write your message. But let's go ahead and put our white piece in, and we're just gonna add that to the top of our white piece, or you can put it in the center. It depends on how much writing you wanna do. You know, when you're sending out Christmas cards, sometimes a short message is a lot easier when you're sending out a lot of cards. All right, and then this one we're just gonna lay flat because it's on the inside. So let's just put it right. I don't want to put it in the center because then you'd have to write around it. So let's just put it toward the top. And that way, that looks nice. And we can add, well, I don't have any flat. Yeah, let's just leave it. You know, we could stamp, if you have a small stamp, a holiday stamp, like a little piece of ivy or something, you could stamp something down here. I really... we could put a little red. Let's do that. These are, I keep a bunch of these. They're retired as well. Let's just put a couple of these little red jewels on the bottom. Since the front of it has, I'm gonna put 3. Since the front has dimensionals, then I think we'll be fine with this. So we're just gonna put 3 little red ones right here. How's that? And that kind of dresses up the inside of the card. All right, so there's that. And those that are just joining, you're going to get joining and you'll be done quicker than you think. All right, so there's this card. I think that's cute, so let me bring that up. All right, now let me show you the other two that I've made. We did one using the season of green and gold, and this is on a piece of Very Vanilla. Now this one I cut, if you're just joining, let me show you the template. So this is the template for the sketch, and I cut this one at 1 by 3 inches, and then I'm using a 2-inch circle punch, but that just gives you your starting point of where you can start. And then I started putting the paper on thinking I was going to do it this way, but I decided to do it this way. So I would have normally adjusted this space here so it would be even, but that's okay, because you know what? People that get this card are not going to realize that this has got more space than this side. They're not going to even pay attention to that, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is a piece of Very Vanilla that's cut 4 1/4 by 11. And then again, you can put whatever you want on your sentiment. And then these are new in the catalog. They are Druzy adhesive backed embellishments. They come in silver and this copper type color. I use the pecan pie ink, but isn't that pretty? All right, and then the one I did prior last night is again using the reindeer, but just different paper. This is on Basic White, sorry. And I cut the paper which has these little cute reindeers on it. But I cut a piece of Pool Party and ran it through the 3D embossing snow sky embossing folder. And I placed these jingle bells down flat and popped the reindeer up. And then here I typed or stamped "'Tis the Season" in red, and then stamped those little guys in Pool Party. And then again, you can put whatever you want on the inside. So that shows you 3 different ways that you can use that template to design a card. And it gives you the starting point, and then from there you go and build whatever you want to do. So again, the sketches are great for those of us that sometimes we sit down and go, I don't even know where to start. This is a great way to do it. So I told you that was going to be quick and easy. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions or need anything, please reach out, and you can find all of the supplies in my online store, and that is linked below in the video. And again, these are during the holidays. If you send out a lot of cards, quick and easy is going to make sense because you can get a lot more done and with less, work, if you will. And they look beautiful. So keep that in mind, and then you can just kind of do, an assembly line. Get everything cut, and then put it all together. All right, so that is our creation anticipation today using our sketch for the month of October. And that's what it looks like, what we started with to give us the idea of how we wanted to create these cards. All right, everybody, I'm going to put this right here. Thank you again for joining me this Saturday. I greatly appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule. And I appreciate those of you that watched yesterday with the fiasco of my internet freezing up and all of that. So thanks again. Again, I'm Dawn Duvall coming to you from Fort Myers, Florida. And I will see you next Tuesday evening on our weekly Facebook Live. All right, thanks again, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye now.